Max Brown, deceased, and Eric Brown, Lexington, KRVN. Lexington's one and only radio station was established with the intent to reach and benefit farmers and ranchers throughout the entire state. KRVN has had only 2 general managers in its 60 years of operation.
Well, he came to Lincoln in 1946 as the executive director for Nebraska Co-op Council, the title Bob Anderson, your friend, has right now. And they lured him down from South Dakota, and he really liked that. So the Co-op Council was one of 4 farm organizations that helped start KRVN after that blizzard of 1947. And so the Co-op Council, Farm Bureau, Farmers Union, and Grange all band together.
If you think of service for agriculture, you think of KRVN, Max Brown, and Eric Brown. And there just wasn't that audience out there or that service to provide the news, weather, and markets. And the farm groups like Farm Bureau got together and said, you know, with the critical nature of and risk associated with agriculture out there, we need a service to provide news, weather, and markets.
KRVN provided Eric Brown with his first job when he worked as a janitor and disc jockey during high school. He then returned as general manager in 1979 when Max retired.
So in coming to Nebraska, in addition to my father, there was a man named Harold Stevens, who was a county agent in Dawson County, who knew every major ag contact in the state. He introduced me to hundreds of people over probably a 10-year period. From east to west, north to south, anybody at the university that counted, Harold knew them.
Providing information and linking people with the world around them are important missions for KRVN.
In the radio business, they're extremely important. Many people know the announcers, the newsmen, and the farm director, and the sports directors. They don't know all the people behind the scenes, obviously. You need a good support staff, you need a good technical team, or your signal's not on the air. You need a good sales staff to make things happen so we can meet the payroll and pay the light bill. But no, it's developing that culture. It's important to recruit and retain.
KRVN has the highest ratings of any agriculture radio station in the nation in audience share and percentage of listeners. Radio is in the Brown family blood, and Nebraska has been a good place to do business.
The structure of the radio station, radio industry, is that you're controlled by the Federal Communications Commission, so you get certain technical things, and those have not really changed at all. The programming has changed to some degree and been more refined. The internet, that gave you one more way to deliver some massive information, or you could have a 37-second soundbite and you can have the other 7 minutes on the internet and give people a great deal of information. So when the Secretary of Ag comes to Nebraska, here's the radio version, here's the whole internet version, and just one more tool in your toolkit to help people. But the basic mission of doing the news, weather, markets, and sports, and serving the audience stays the same.
Both Max and Eric put a high level of importance on community involvement and education.
Well, tremendous changes since we started in 1951. Now, people still want the markets, but they may not get them on the radio as much anymore, because in the old days when the markets were on, everybody stopped doing what they're doing and just listened and focused on that. Now they can go on their computer, get their cell phone, get that information whenever they want it. But still, they want that basic information for making really good decisions. The delivery system has changed. Agriculture has gotten bigger and bigger, and the number of farms has gone down. The number of farmers has gone down. The size of the farms has gone up. The size of the machinery has gone up. The price tag has gone up. So it's a high-stakes venture right now.
KRVN, Max Brown, and Eric Brown have provided the necessary information for farmers and ranchers of Nebraska to make good business decisions for over 60 years.
Governor Heinemann, First Lady Sally, State Senators, Barry, Board of Directors, Dean Plowman. Tremendous honor for the Brown family and for the KRVN family. This has really been very, very nice. And too nearly obvious, this has been a team effort. So I want to meet a few members of the team very briefly. To my left is my wife Ruth, who has done a great job of guiding me along the way, whether it's with my PhD dissertation or editing the book we wrote on the first 50 years of KRVN and service to agriculture. Ruth? And together we're doing our part to reverse the brain drain. So we brought all three Brown kids back here from Washington, and hold your applause till we're done. I don't want anyone to be, more than the other one. Son Nathan and wife Catherine from Washington, D.C., daughter Valerie and husband Will from Chicago, daughter Andrea and Bronson from Cleveland. So they all settled in Nebraska, 2 in Lincoln, 1 in Omaha, and we have 5 grandchildren. You know what my part-time pastime is right now. Also today we have station managers from Scotts Bluff, Lexington, and from West Point. So Dwight, Craig, Tim, and Amy, raise your hand, take a bow. This is the team that's leading things going forward. And many ag leaders here today would like those people to have to stand up and wave their hand, and the State Chamber of Commerce leaders from across the state. We worked with all of you and we thoroughly enjoyed it. So stand up and wave your hand. KRV has always been involved in trying to build a better agriculture, therefore a stronger Nebraska. And back in 1951, we did some rather basic things, because there weren't many radio stations in outstate Nebraska then. There wasn't even a statewide weather forecast. So KRV paid for telegram from Scottsbluff to Lincoln, so the Weather Bureau could have a statewide forecast. And my father eventually got that fixed, so we had a forecast. And we've been blessed with a very talented and dedicated team who the staff provided outstanding information to farmers and ranchers across the state and to tell the story of agriculture. And I had fun for 33 years to be manager of the group and travel across the state and be on various boards, including the State Chamber and working with people like Brian. Now my time is devoted to the Nebraska Rural Radio Foundation, and our job is to give scholarships to non-traditional students to help keep people on the land. That's what I'm up to now, but over the years we won a variety of awards, but also when you realize you can make a difference in the life of a listener, that's also very rewarding. Thank you.